he said Mr. Matlala is possibly implicated in the kidnapping of Mr. Jerubushuwa. But then the person further said he's aware that between Mr. Matlala and General Sibiya, they are very close. And there is a lot happening around them. And there is no way that he can accept that he investigate this case or oversee this case. And further mentioned other areas where he says they are too close, they work together, they share a lot of information together. So there is no way that he can then oversee this investigation.
I see you are dealing with it in a very constrained manner.
Okay.
No,
all right.
You could perhaps explain to the Commission if there is a reason why you are not at liberty to detail or disclose the extent of what was revealed. You could say that to the Commission so that there is an understanding of why you are putting it simply like that and not going into detail. Or unless if there's a detail that is missing, you should provide it.
Okay, yeah, the matters around this, they are still under investigation, but, well, the person did bring to my attention that the closeness of them to such an extent that this person said, Mr. Matlala is actually one of my deputies, it's just that I'm not aware of, in that he's doing the same work with General Sibiya, they direct police to do certain things and so on. So that was the allegation that was said. I think it's safe to leave it there.
And you're saying because of the fact that those matters are still under investigation?
Correct. They are still under investigation, yes.
And is that the reason why you are not sharing more? And you just simply make that allegation in terms of the General Sibiya having been implicated?
Yeah, I think it is safe to leave it there because it's still under investigation, so it might not be good to give everything while it's still under investigation. And the one talking 3.7.
Stakeholder communication. All internal and external stakeholders must be notified in writing about the disbandment of the task team, the transition plan for ongoing cases, and the future protocol. Did you have a chance to consider that aspect of the letter?
No. I didn't really consider the whole letter, but
And paragraph 4, a comprehensive closing report must be submitted by 16 January 2025, confirming compliance with the aforementioned directive. And he goes on to talk about how it should be structured. And you've indicated this letter, he signed it on the 17th.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have, there is no report that would have been in by the 16th of January then.
And then 4.5, 379, stakeholder feedback. Input from key stakeholders in response to the announced disbandment of the task team, for example, comments by the NPA and SSA. I take it that you also did not consider
No.
that aspect.
No, I didn't consider that. I just said, as long as you talk of immediate disbandment, so just leave this and leave it for me to come up with a plan.
And I'm pointing you to these aspects, General, just in case there is going to be a narrative that says, but some of these things that you wanted to be done on a gradual basis were still there. And you say in your statement, you considered this plan when he was talking to you about it, and you still decided that or concluded that it wasn't going to effectively address your concerns.
Yeah, in other words, I wanted that he should come up with a plan, not writing a letter that there must be a plan coming from somewhere. He should come with this winding down plan that clearly says what and how it should happen, not writing somewhere else, looking for somebody to do a plan.
Right. And in paragraph 126 of your statement, you continue to deal with parts of the contents of this letter. You will see you start with a reference to the contents from paragraph 123, 124, 125. And paragraph 126. You see that?
I see that, Commissioners.
And if perhaps you can deal with that conclusion in 127. You say you found something peculiar with that instruction letter.
Yeah, I said that I found it peculiar that the instruction letter from General Sibiya required the closing report to include the very same information, the very same information that the minister ought to have considered at the time when he made the decision to disband the PTT, not after he had taken the decision, such as a summary of the key consideration that resulted in the decision to disband the PKTT, because it's not Kumar, it's the minister.
So this is information that is sought after the fact, but not prior, which information would be needed for purposes of deciding whether to disband the task team or not.
Yeah, so that such information should be part of the assessment that was done, that is referred to in the minister's letter, before he come to the conclusion to disband.
Yes. And perhaps just before we proceed on 128, if I can just ask you to tie in a point that you make in paragraph 126, the second sentence, as previously stated. 126, second sentence, as previously stated.
That's the fourth line of 126, General.
As previously stated, the PKTT was formed because the existing investigative units were ill-equipped to handle the sophisticated nature of political killings and organized crime. In fact, Lieutenant General Sibiya's instruction was to abandon an effective model and revert to a model so unsuccessful that the President had to intervene to establish IMC to address this killing.
So in 126 and 127, you mention at least two reasons why you had a difficulty with Lieutenant General Sibiya's approach.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Then if we go to 128.
Mr. Mutau, before you go to 128, which I think is a different discussion, so maybe still on this letter. General, this letter from General Sibiya does give instructions for immediate implementation, setting up temporary transition teams. In fact, he says in paragraph 3, the directive requires immediate compliance in paragraph 3 of that letter. And then there's a whole list of effective measures that must be taken. People must go back to their stations, equipment and vehicles allocated must be redistributed. So this is a letter that, on receiving it, in my understanding, the recipient, it's directed to the Divisional Commissioner, Crime Intelligence. What was the instruction after you received the letter and you are now from the minister and you are now back in your office and you are interacting with the content of the instruction from the minister? What was your instruction to your divisional commissioners? And I'm more interested specifically the instruction to Sibiya, to General Sibiya.
Yeah, the instruction to him was go and draw a plan that would wind down the team. Yes. Not go give instructions. Come back to me with a plan that detail that this is a wind down plan of the team. Yes. That's what I wanted from him.
Yes.
And I did mention that not this immediate disbandment, so you must stay away from that. Develop a plan that talk to, firstly, the work of the team up to so far, and thereafter come up with a wind-down plan as to how should we are going to wind down the team in a phased-out approach.
Yes. And before that instruction to General Sibiya and others, what was his involvement, if any, with the work of this task team?
He was never involved. The little I remember, he attended one briefing in KZN.
Yes.
Other than that, he would recommend, when financial authorities comes, he will recommend them forward to me. But the detailed work of the team, as far as I know, no, he was never involved.
So, according to you, would he have been in a position to brief the minister? If he had briefed the minister on the team, on this task team, would he have been in a proper position to do that, given what you know about his involvement or non-involvement with the team?
Yeah, the way I know his involvement, no, he would not have been capable, he wouldn't have been able to brief the minister on the work of the team at all, no. Maybe the former minister, yes, could better brief the current minister much better, not General Sibiya.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mpe.
Thank you, Commissioner Madoe. And I think earlier on in your statement, you made the point, and we've dealt with it, that the three people that could have briefed the minister, yourself, General Mkwanazi, and General Khumalo, were not requested to provide a briefing, and you never provided that briefing prior to the decision of immediate disbandment being taken.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Right. And if we can then turn to paragraph 128, we are going to deal there with the paragraph that leads us to the report of the 20th of January, 2025, that was then prepared and you submitted to the minister on the 22nd. If I can just ask you to deal with that paragraph.
Yeah, on paragraph 28, Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo prepared the report for the minister and submitted it to me in order for me to present it to the minister on the 20th of January 2025. Of course, I also worked on the report myself with the legal services. I was informed by the minister's office that he would only be in the office on the 22nd of January 2025. I waited for the minister to return on the 22nd of January 2025. I submitted the report to him. The report is annexed as SFM 11 on the
Masemola 2.
SFM 2
Yes, that's at page 381. If I can ask you to turn to 382, because on 381 it's a covering letter from yourself to the minister. Then the report itself starts at 382. In paragraph 1, you deal with the filling of posts, which was the first point in the minister's letter. Those posts within crime intelligence. Then the second point, you deal with ports of entry. And the third point, in paragraph 3, you deal with the political killings task team. And if I could just ask you, there under that paragraph 3, you say the contents of this paragraph have been noted. It's further noted that a preliminary report has been requested by 20 January 2025, and the report is provided as follows. In 3.1, you deal with the background